Majin Buu is out of commission, Universe 7 needs a brand new fighter, Universe 3 is recruiting modified humans and robots, the Pride Troopers are gathering their strongest warriors, and Caulifla seemingly turns into a Super Saiyan. All that and more in this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. The rumors were true, all of the previews were true, it looks like Frieza is going to be returning again to Dragon Ball Super. It wasn't enough that Frieza was already killed, transformed into a cyborg, killed again, brought back to life, murdered once more. It looks like now he's gonna get another get-out-of-jail-free card and be able to join the fold. Now, honestly, this is something that I know pissed off a lot of viewers. A lot of people feel that Frieza coming back is a really bad decision, but in many ways it kind of makes sense. They brought Frieza back for a reason, not just to give him a power-up, but to establish why he is so powerful and why he is going to be a very good asset for Universe 7. I just can't wait to see how he's going to be convinced to join the team, or if this is all just some sort of clever ruse from Akira Toriyama and Majin Buu really is going to be a part of the team. I mean, of course Majin Buu is in the intro and the midway title cards and everything, but this is something that can be changed. They can just reanimate some portions of the intro and even the midway title card just so that they can mess with our heads just a little bit. And the concept of Frieza returning, using his gold form, and even teaming up with some of the other characters in the series has got to be one of the strangest concepts that I have ever seen. Especially because Frieza's not exactly a buddy-buddy friendly kind of guy. In fact, he pretty much hates everyone from Earth and wants to murder all of them, some of which he's already murdered before, like Vegeta and Krillin. So, to see characters like that actually teaming up with Frieza kind of diminishes him as a villain a little bit, but still, the prospect of him teaming up with other characters just seems way too exciting not to see. And unlike Majin Buu, Frieza has an extreme personality. It's mostly incredibly pompous, but like I said, getting to see him interact with the other characters, the prospect of him actually meeting Frost, there's a lot of great things about Frieza coming into the fold. Not only that, but Goku has been found out by pretty much everyone on the team that this is all about the survival of the universe. They've all learned that the cash prize is just bupkis. It's bullshit. They're not gonna have it. And even some of them threaten to quit, like frickin' Krillin. That is until Bulma decides to reach into her very deep pockets and decides that she's going to pay everyone if they do manage to actually survive this big thing. It's pretty crazy. Also, it is worth mentioning that it is actually because of Beerus that Goku decides that Frieza is going to be the one that he is going to choose, because he mentioned that if they hadn't have destroyed all of Frieza's army, they would have other people to choose from, and that's where Goku gets the idea. How Frieza's going to come back, though, I just don't know how that's going to go down. Some other things about this episode that are really awesome. We get to see more of the Pride Troopers, another funny moment with General Kasserel, who without a doubt is going to be joining their team specifically. But then we go to Universe 3, which features the God of Destruction Moscow, who is this giant robot who speaks in beeps and boops. And predictably, from that universe, they're going to have a lot of modified warriors, cyborgs, and robots. They even introduced this one new fighter by the name of Nagishiri, who is this weird-looking alien that I can't even freaking describe. He looks like the Joker mixed with a freaking great white shark. But he also has access to this technology, and he has this giant robot which he has created for the battle, which has extendable limbs and suction cups, all types of crazy weapons and cool stuff that Moscow seems to be grooving on because, of course, he's a robot. So I can't wait to see more of this team, which is also teased. You get to see them in shadow, and I'm sure they're all going to have a lot of really fun designs. I love Akira Toriyama's designs of robots, and to have a whole team based around them, I think is just going to be a blast. But the thing that I think most people are going to be talking about this week has to be the scene with Caulifla, Cabe, and Kale. Cabe is actually training Caulifla to become a Super Saiyan, and she pretty much takes to it like a duck in water. She just concentrates all of this power into her back. That's actually what Cabe says. You can feel it flowing into one spot, and she's actually able to go Super Saiyan practically immediately. She takes a small break, she goes back to it, she demonstrates her raw destructive power, and she realizes that, whoa, I'm going to join this team, and I think I'm also going to have Kale join us, her sister, a character who's been shrouded in mystery, but is actually the one that we see in the intro who's transforming into that massive Broly form. You know what I'm talking about, female Broly. That's who Kale is going to be. It's teased in the preview for next week's episode, and of course, like I said, you see her in the intro. So the Universe 6 Saiyans certainly are showing a lot of potential. The fact that they're able to learn these Super Saiyan abilities so quickly speaks volumes for how much potential they have for all their raw power. Maybe it's because they're from a different universe and the Saiyans from that universe are a little more kinder, gentler people, even though Caulifla comes across as a more traditional Saiyan. I just can't wait to see them in action. It's gonna be great. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? I loved the way this episode ended. Typically, this entire arc has ended with getting to see the ring, which is slowly being built by the Grand Priest. This one ends with this great teasing shot of Frieza stuck in his cocoon, and it just put a big-ass smile on my face. I'm one of the few people out there who's genuinely excited to see Frieza's return. Frieza is my favorite villain from the series, maybe in my top 5 favorite, anime villains of all time. Frieza is great, and I'm glad that he's been making so many grand returns to the series, and this has got to be one of his craziest reintroductions ever. It seems like in the next episode, Goku might even have some sort of sparring match with Frieza to test out his powers, to look at his gold form again, which I think is really awesome. The overall imagery of the next episode looks really great too, because of course he is in hell and everything's all pleasant looking because Frieza's evil and he totally wouldn't like that stuff. When he starts to transform, you get to see everything's turning all dark and cloudy and ominous, and that totally fits Frieza's nature a lot. And I can't wait to see how Frieza's actually going to be convinced to join. Like I've talked about in a few of the other previous episodes, he might not want to see the universe destroyed because it would mean his destruction. Maybe if the universe is destroyed, there's nothing there for him to conquer. Or maybe Beerus is just going to threaten Frieza and force him to actually get into the battle. Also, is it not strange to see Frieza with a halo? That just does not work. I've already mentioned how excited I am to see the robot team. Whenever they introduce new fighters into Dragon Ball, I get really excited, especially in this series, because we're looking at characters from various different universes. They all have their special quirks and abilities, and a group of robot fighters is going to be a lot of fun. I have a feeling they're all going to have some really unique abilities, lots of transformations, and some really unique attacks that we've never seen from the series. And the fact that they're all going to be working as a team leads me to believe that all of these robots are actually going to combine and form some sort of Voltron type thing that's gonna kick ass. You know you want to see something like that in the series. And then there's the Caulifla stuff, which I think is going to be kind of controversial with people. The fact that you have a character who's just seeing Super Saiyan and just immediately unlocks it by putting a lot of weird energy into her back, it is a little strange. But I'm just going to chalk it up to the fact that the Universe 6 Saiyans just have a little more potential than the Universe 7 Saiyans, and a lot of it has to do with their overall personalities. They showed that with Kabe initially, and it looks like they're doing that with Caulifla and Kale as well. It's also just a really cool scene getting to see Caulifla go all out and get excited about using this power and just causing all of this raw destruction. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see Frieza's reaction to seeing all of these Saiyans. He's going to shit his underpants, even though he doesn't wear underpants. And so, that was this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, which I thought was actually a pretty decent build-up. They're doing a great job of showing more of the other universes, the fact that Frieza's coming back, and getting to see some more of the training from characters like Kabe and Caulifla. It had some pretty decent animation attached to it and some good artwork, so I liked this episode. It wasn't perfect. I thought all the stuff with Goku and his friends dicking around about the money and everything was probably the most boring part of the episode, but it was a necessary evil to pad this one out. But it did bring it down just a bit, and that's why I'm going to give this episode a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Dragon Ball Super fans. If any of you guys did watch this week's episode, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Do you really think that Frieza is going to join the team, or are the creators of the series just pulling our legs and Majin Buu is eventually going to wake up? If he does join the team, are you excited about this? What do you want to see Frieza do? Are you not happy about Frieza's return? Who would you choose as the 10th fighter? Do you think it's pretty cool that Caulifla has attained the Super Saiyan powers abilities, or is this just kind of an ass last poll. What else do you hope to see from the Grand Tournament of Power? Please tell me all of your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things Dragon Ball Super related, the anime, the manga version, the whole damn thing. Make sure to give me your thoughts about this week's episode in the comment section. If you have any questions for me or anything you want to talk about, I'm always down for a good conversation. And of course, if you liked this video, please take a second to hit that like button. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.